I want to go into the beginning. And you were raised in you was born in Alabama, correct?
Alabama, yes,
Yeah.
correct. Valley,
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah. And you raised there as well?
Yes, born and raised.
Born and raised. And so you said what part of Alabama? What was that? What part?
Valley, Valley,
Oh,
Alabama.
okay. How far is that from Huntsville? Because you know Huntsville is like the thing now. So
Oh,
oh,
it's like four, it's like 3.5 or 4 hours from Huntsville. It's
okay.
actually on
I was just
Valley is
curious.
yeah, Valley is actually on the Georgia line.
Oh, it's
It's so close
borderline.
to the Georgia line. Yeah, we're
Oh.
actually on Eastern time and not Central time where I'm from. It's
Oh,
so close to the
really?
line.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so is that close? Okay, got you. And so, so you were brought up, single parent home, two parent household, siblings, cousins, all of that. Like, well, how was that? How was your household
Mm.
growing up?
Two-parent household. I'm an only child.
You the only child?
I'm an only
You
child.
don't seem
So
like that, DC. You have a lot of
yeah,
cousins then. You have a lot of
well,
cousins?
see, I don't. That's the thing.
Really?
I, you know, I don't on my dad's side, believe it or not. As far as first cousins go, I only have one, and he is one of
Wow.
my dad is one of 5 siblings, and none of them had kids except one. And my
Wow.
cousin, yeah, and so I was the only grandchild on my dad's side until I was like 16 or 17 years old.
So you had a
And
small, I mean, it was just you, but just you by yourself, huh?
it was
You
just me. And on my mom's side, she's one of 5 as well. And her one of let me see, one, two, one of 2 of her brothers and one of her sisters had children. However, one was like way older and lived all the way in Chicago. Like that particular cousin is like 20 something years older than me. She had kids, but they still lived in Chicago. And my mom's other sister who had kids, they were here in Atlanta. So they were
mm,
living in Atlanta. So that's 3 cousins that was here in Atlanta. And my mom's other brother who had kids, they were already way older. When I was in kindergarten, I think they were in like middle school. They lived in my hometown, but those were like the only 2 that was really there. So I was really a loner my whole life. Like really growing up, it was really
wow.
just me because there was no siblings, and all of my cousins, either the few that I had,
Was
either lived
older.
out of state
It was
or they
that
were much
right.
older.
Got you. Yeah, because I can relate to that because I was the only child till I was 13. And then, I mean, I had the neighborhood kids around me. I had a lot of cousins. So I had a bigger family, but you had a smaller unit. So how did you occupy your time? Like, were you how was it in school? Like, were you popular in school? Were you the shy one, more reserved, more standoffish? How was it between elementary and junior high? And given your family dynamic?
Oh man, I was a very shy kid growing up.
You were
I was
shy. Okay.
quiet. I didn't really hang with what people would say the in crowd is, to be honest with you, and anybody will tell you that. Uh, I can name the people who I really hung with outside of school, and I can really tell you, at what age it was when I started hanging with them. So I really wasn't just out and about too much. I was really a very shy, quiet loner. So when people say introvert, I know how it
Mhm.
feels to be an introvert because and I eventually broke out of that shell, which I
Right,
had
right,
to.
right.
But yeah, I'm naturally an introvert. It's like it's so weird because now I love talking to people. I'm very extroverted now. However, yeah, I was an introvert.
Yeah, but back then, because I'm wondering, so how did you acquire your social skills? Like, what made you break out of that shell? Fast forward a little bit. How did that come about where you was able to break out of that shell?
college, college.
Okay. Oh, mhm.
Yeah. When I went to Alabama State University, I broke out of it. It
Got
was
you.
one of those things where I felt like that particular time in my life, it wasn't the time to be quiet. It wasn't the time to be shy. It was the time to network. It was the time to meet people. It was the time in my life that was going to be very, very pivotal. So when I went, I saw so many different people from so many different walks of life, and it was hard not to talk to people anyway. And so, just being on campus, that was the first thing. And then, once I joined different organizations while in
Got you.
college,
And we're gonna get
that
to that.
also
Yeah,
did it.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
also helped a lot.
Mhm. But I also, before we get to that, but yeah, so thank you for sharing that, by the way. But I wanted to, since you mentioned college, I want to go back a little bit. to high school, because high school is a pivotal time. And but I didn't want to omit the elementary and junior high school experience, because a lot of people talk about it, because I mean, a lot of people may not remember a lot of it, but those are pivotal times as well, because especially when it comes to middle school, you're going through puberty, you try to figure it out, you try to figure out where your anatomy goes and where, so it's like it's a lot, sex
But
education at that time, so
yeah,
people don't talk
yeah,
about
it's a
that.
lot. It's a lot,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
realistically, a lot of people they say, "Oh man, I had a great time in high school. Like, high school was my time." High school, honestly, high school, I was ready to get out of there.
Oh,
Elementary was
high
fun
school, yeah,
because
tell me about that, DC.
yeah, like, elementary was fun because you're young and just that's when you're first really meeting people who, and coming from a small town, that's when you're first meeting people from your town, and whatever the case may be. Middle school was it was okay. High school, I was just ready to go. Like my fondest memories aren't high school. It was college. So
Really? So you had no
yeah,
fond memories, like,
absolutely.
so during high schools, usually high school is when you really get to kind of feel yourself, and kind of, because you said you're still in your shell at the time, you're still introverted, you were
Yeah.
still kind of withdrawn from people, but you didn't have the space to um get into any type of extracurricular activities. How was your academics at the time? Did you have anybody that influenced you at that time?
Yeah. I was always I always had pretty decent grades. You know, I mean, I think we all kind of slip up sometimes, but it was
Of
never bad.
course.
It was never bad. Maybe a C here and there because I hated math. But outside of that, everything else was straight and narrow. Yeah, I never just had bad grades. Um, I played basketball. I played basketball. So I did have time to do that. I played basketball all the way through school. I'm 6'6", so
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like, how was your growth spurts? Like,
they
did you have a growth spurt? Like, how was that? I was about to ask about that.
I've always been pretty tall. I feel like, I mean, it's weird because it's me. So, when you're in elementary, you don't think about, hey, I'm taller than everybody, or you don't think about it in
Right,
middle
right.
school. But then, yeah, when I'm playing basketball and people start telling me, oh, you're so tall, you're so tall. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I am tall. But I really think I hit a growth spurt maybe maybe before my freshman year in high school, or
Hmm.
maybe between ninth and 10th grade. It was like between those 2 years, though.
And what's your shoe size, DC?
13.
You see, I'm
I'm
starting
still
already.
I'm still winning, but they always want to know that question. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm starting already. I'm starting already. You know I have to go there.
it's all good. It's all good. It's all
All right.
good. I promise you.
You promised. Okay. All right. You hear that, ladies? You hear that, ladies? Yeah. So
Oh man.
so you went from high school, because you was going through, like being the only child, going through the years of school, but then you started to kind of blossom, try, you really, you really owned your own in college. And so how did that happen for you in college? Like, why that time in particular?
It was just like I said, it was a pivotal time. And I knew that it was a time that I would never get back because it was something about living in the moment in college. You know how a lot of people they
Yeah.
say in
There
life,
had to be
they're like,
something. 'Cause what moment was that though? Like, what moment was that? Because what was it about that time in your life? You say, okay, I've been in this shell for all this time. I've been an introvert. I've been more to myself and out about myself. But this is the time I'm going to shine. This is the time for me to grow. This is the time for me to evolve.
"Hmm."
What was that time for you in college? What was that moment?
That moment was honestly when I first walked on that campus. That
Mm,
first day. I think orientation, it had to be orientation because
mm, mhm,
we were
mhm.
only one class that was there. We were only freshmen that were there for orientation. So, quite naturally. But uh, I knew that I would never be in an environment in one setting with that many people again.
Got you.
I was like, it's too many people here. It's too much potential in people. It's people that's going to go places in life. It's people that I'm going to, these are the people I'm going to be friends with probably for the rest of my life because mind you, I didn't hang with too many people in high school. I can count on
Mm,
one hand how many people I really hung with in high school.
got
So
you.
I'm like, well, they're either gonna be the people. This is gonna be my time because I feel like everybody else had their time in high school. So I'm like, nah, this is my time. This is really my time to network because when you go into school with people in high school, you know, a lot of people went on to be very successful, and I'm super proud of them. But it's more so of like I live here with you. I kind of know what you're about. My dad knows your dad. My mom know your family.
Oh,
Your
shit.
people know my
Mhm.
people. So it's kind of like,
Mm.
all right, I kind of know you, but I don't know this person from a can of paint, as they say, that I'm sitting next to in college. And I think it was just that point of being in orientation where it clicked. I was just like, I'm gonna utilize these years to my full advantage.
Okay, and so it started there, started in orientation, and so, would you stay on campus?
I
Okay,
did. I
okay,
did.
and
Yeah,
so
yeah. A
yeah,
lot of people they love to get off campus, but for me, I stayed on campus. I wanted the full college experience. I wanted,
yes.
I think my last year, I want to say it was my last year I moved off campus. But yeah, I wanted to get that campus experience. I had a great time living on campus.
Oh, that's great, yeah, that's great to know, and what did you study? What did you major?
Marketing.
Marketing, oh, okay. And so,
Yeah,
and I'm sure that in that, and I know that background really helped you because a lot of people in entertainment, unfortunately, are not able to, you know, kind of build their brand the way they should. And also
mhm.
part of the marketing experience, you're also learning more about the business aspect as well. So I'm glad that you was able to, kind of dive into that. So that was a good thing. But also, I wanted to get
Absolutely.
into.
I
Mhm.
if I may, and
Mhm.
I do want to say this. I chose that particular major because I was kind of undecided for a minute. So I was taking all of my classes that I had to take anyway, all of my prerequisite classes that I had to take anyway, before even going into my major courses. So I chose that field because I knew that everything is marketing. I wanted to
Yes.
learn business, no matter what you're doing.
Mhm.
If you're looking at a billboard, it's marketing. If you're on Instagram, 9 times out of 10, it's marketing. If you're doing social media management, you're marketing for somebody. If
There's
you
no way
look at
around it.
Facebook
Mhm.
right now,
Mhm.
you see more ads on your Facebook than you see what your own friends post. It's all
Yes.
marketing. Everything is
Yes.
marketing because marketing makes dollars. Because if no one knows anything about you or your business or your company, how can you make the money?
How
So
can you
I
make
knew
it
that I would
right?
always exactly. So I knew that by having a marketing degree, it was so widespread that I would always be able to have a job in some. You know what I'm going to say? I would always be able to fall back on something to have a career
Mhm.
with
Right,
that field. So that's what
right.
made me choose that.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because, a lot of times, when people get into to this industry, you have to have something to fall back on. You have to have a cushion, because
Absolutely,
'cause at the end of the day, you don't know when that next job is going to come. You may have even if you have this multi-million dollar project that you're in, you may not see anything else. You may not be working this to another few years. So you have
absolutely,
to make sure you know what first of all, you have to know how to invest. You have to know how
absolutely.
to know what your plan is in between those gigs. You have to know, how to market yourself, as you said. So I'm glad that you mentioned that because you need steady income. Because not only do you need steady income, you still need health benefits. You
Oh,
still need
absolutely.
you still need dental. You still need so you need all those but a lot of people don't think about that. They don't consider that
I agree.
when it
I
comes to
agree.
that. So, but so I'm glad that you mentioned that.